I'm going to tell you a little bit about how Anubis came to me. I've been very close to Sathya Sai Baba, and I'll be talking a little bit about him later. But what happened was that etherically he came to me one morning on waking, and he asked for my permission to take me very close to death, to hold the frequency for the individual, for the planet and for the collective. And this is what happened, and I did become very, very ill. It happened over a number of weeks. I don't need to go into the ins and outs of it, but it culminated in me having to go into hospital. I couldn't even watch the television or read a book. My eyes were yellow. I just hold on to the fact that he said I would be taken very, very close to death, but not through death, although I don't have any fear of that. I was in the hospital in National Health One over 10 days, and every day I was getting worse and worse. They did some blood tests, and on about the 4th day the specialist came to see me, and he said, "Oh, I'm surprised to see that you're even still conscious, because my CRP, which should have been under 10, was actually 350 and death is 400. They didn't really know what to do. They sent a rheumatologist to see me. She said it wasn't anything to do with that. So all the time, every day, I was just getting worse and worse. I was asking to be sent to a private hospital because I have private medical insurance, and also my friends and family were also begging them to send me to a private hospital. But it wasn't until the 10th day that came about. I was just left getting sicker and sicker and sicker. And then I got to the private hospital, and it was like going from hell to heaven. I had my own specialist consultant. He came in every day. He did a full body CT scan, full MRI of my head. Nothing at all showed up. He put antibiotics intravenously into my arm, and that did bring down the CRP a little bit, but not really a lot. But I did start to feel a little bit better. And then he had to label me with something, because the private hospital was saying, I'd already been in there a month by this time, that they couldn't keep me in there any longer. I had to be treated as an outpatient. So he stuck me on high-dose steroids and labelled me with temporal arteries, which it couldn't possibly have been, because here around my temples would have been like very, very sensitive. And also he would have had to done a biopsy, which he didn't do. So anyway, the steroids blew me open. They were all part of the plan. I was sent home after, a few days on the steroids when I started to feel better. I was awake. I only had about 2 hours sleep a night. I was receiving information like 360 degrees, 24 hours, 24/7 almost. And then what happened was after that, after like a few months, first of all, it was explained to me that I'd had a walk-in experience, and that why my bloods were completely off the chart. It wasn't a walk-in of another entity, but it was all of my multidimensional selves that had come in. And that, of course, made complete sense, because if all of my multidimensional selves had come in through time and space, from the beginning of time to the end of time, etc., I would have a very different blood count while it was going on anyway, and while it was integrating. So I thought that was like really, really interesting. And then it was explained to me that this would take actually several years, and various parts of my body would be breaking down, and I would be maybe laid up in bed for some of that time. And that's what happened, because all of the memory that was held in the cells of my body just had to be released, and that took a long time, cleansing that, purification and releasing all of the memories that were in the cells. So that's how the multidimensional energy clearing was birthed. And I want to tell you that before the Anubis, because it is a prerequisite of Anubis that you do the multidimensional energy clearing first. And it's also a prerequisite of Anubis, but Jonathan obviously got a sick note, that you actually have to fast and not drink coffee. But I know that he doesn't drink coffee anyway, so that was all fine. And this has all happened actually in the moment, taking both of us by surprise, as it's happening live here. So then now I'm going on to the Anubis. What happened about the Anubis was that I was on a Karuna master teacher course. I took it with William Rand. I had to have him, so the lineage was very pure, because he brought through the Karuna reiki. And while I was on the course, sorry about these flies keep landing on me, I received another symbol that was nothing to do with the Karuna reiki. And I just thought, well, I don't know what I'm going to do with this. But after I finished the course and I went home, a lady came for a Reiki treatment with me. And I started to use that symbol, the Anubis symbol. And she actually had an ulcerated leg that was in danger of going gangrenous. And I worked on her 3 times actually, and it cleared up. So I'd received one symbol, and then over the next few months I received 2 more. And I was told by what I call my light team, the energies that work through me, that I would receive 4 more symbols that would be put into a system called Anubis Reiki. But they had to prepare my energy bodies to receive the 2nd level symbols. So the first 3 I received were 1st level symbols. And how that came about was that after I'd received the first 3, I thought, I'm not going to waste these symbols. I used them when I actually treated people, but also I put them in a 3rd level when I taught people karuna master teacher. And they all said these symbols are very, very different to karuna. They're entirely different. They're much more powerful. And I said, yes, I know, but I haven't received the whole system yet. So I worked like that for 3 years. And then one day, I think it was round about 99, around the time I got the channeling through from Thoth, I was in a relationship at that time, and I just had the idea that we should go and see a hypnotherapist. And I thought it was for my partner, actually. But when we arrived, I'd put myself in as well. He said that he would take me first. And he said to me, why have you come? And I said, I've no idea. So he put me under, and then to my complete amazement and also his, I went back into this past life. I remember being a priestess of Isis in Abydos and Dendara. All of the symbols came through, the 2nd level as well. The attunement process came through. All of the information really that I needed came through in that session with the hypnotherapist. He luckily had paper and pen. He scribbled a few notes. And then when my partner was having his session, I went and sat in the car and put all the pieces together. So I had the system then, but I still didn't know the significance of the symbols. So I was working with some people at that time from Mark. That's my partner's name in Cheshire. We were working actually between Bournemouth, where my home was, and Cheshire, where his home is, and. I asked them if, at the end of the day, it was an Ascended Masters workshop, if we could stay behind, have a shared tea, and then sit for what my symbols were to be used for. And they agreed to that, so that's what we did. And in that sitting, which lasted probably about an hour and a half, the relevance of the symbols and why, what they were to be used for came through. And a lot was explained as well. Are we okay with the time on that?
Yeah,
I'm just going to have a brief, quick look to see that we're not going to lose anything on the memory here. We're okay, yeah. Because we don't want to lose anything of this.
It's 9%.
Okay, right. Okay, so then I had all the information then about the symbols, what they were to be used for, and then of course the system came together, and very, very quickly actually I was attuning people. But it has evolved a lot since then, as I have evolved. This was in the year 2000 that I started attuning people, and we're now in 2020. And I just want to, actually, I'm just going to break there for a minute. I'll pick up on that because I'm going to ask Jonathan to bring his chair over and to share whatever he might have experienced through that session.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So maybe you'd like to share anything from the multidimensional energy clearing if you remember it, and then go on to the Anubis. And remember, everyone who's watching, this has been done spontaneously in the moment. It took me by surprise. It may have taken Jonathan by surprise. He hasn't done any preparation that I normally ask people to do. And so I just want to see from him what he's experienced in this spontaneity, multidimensional energy clearing and attunement. Over to you, Jonathan.
Yes, okay. So first off, when doing the multidimensional clearing and doing the Reiki attunements, like I felt almost like there was there was so much energy under the legs, so they were almost like they were levitating almost.
Which level? But was that multi-dimensional energy clearing, or the Anubis, or was that
This
all of it?
There was the like
Oh,
right
multi-dimensional
after
energy clearing.
yes,
Yeah,
and then
okay.
was starting to levitate, and also my hands were very, energetic,
Mhm.
and yeah, it just felt very good, and I felt like also there was a lot of, I felt like there was a lot of guides and stuff like coming through, telling me stuff, and yeah, and so that was very nice, and I felt. And they were giving me a lot of joy and a lot of they were like joking with me, and like I felt very very good.
You still seem quite high,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. And then when it came to Anubis, it was actually very interesting because I saw Anubis, and I saw him, and he was in front of me, and he said or he showed me this key. I'm not sure if it's this that it's like
A key.
yeah, like a key with the
It's the ankh. It's the ankh. Yeah, the
yeah,
key of life. Yeah. Mhm.
He gave me he said like use this for when you're gonna heal, and you're gonna see the symbols inside of the circle, and you can like put your consciousness into this symbol or into this it doesn't have to be like a physical symbol, but he was telling me like when if I want to do healing, I can use this and put everything, like put my energy into this, and this is like something you can like then like you can use it also in reconnective healing and other healings. It's just like it's a nice thing that you can draw other modalities from. So this was very interesting. I was like, okay, but just like start small, and this is what you get for now, and let it unfold further. And I was like, okay. So it was like, wow, okay, very interesting what just came true, and yes, I feel very blessed and very grateful to be here with you as well. Like,
Yeah, just to say one thing though, it won't be your energy that's putting it through. You'll be only. This is really, really important for everyone now, to know that you're not doing anything. You're only the instrument, the conduit. So all you need to do is to visualize the symbol, say its name, and allow the energy to flow. That's all you need to do. And the ankh is the key of life. That's amazing that he gave you that. And yeah, did you feel anything when all of these symbols were brought in by name through your auric field and into your hands? Did you feel anything different in your hands with each one?
I felt more, or I felt I was just like very in a high vibrational state. I would say it was different or difficult for me to actually feel the difference, but because it was just like
All in one.
yeah, all in one kind of thing. So yeah, and I'm still getting more and more like trying to feel the energies even more and more, the subtle energies.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I felt like it was very like all in one, and they were just like accumulating on top of each other somehow.
Mm. Just to share with the people that normally if someone had booked in to do this with me, and I do it over Messenger and Skype, I would send them the symbols first so that you become conversant with them. And actually a guy in Belgium has started to get results from the symbols before even the attunement. We waited 3 weeks actually till he was properly cooked. Almost every day he was getting different things happen to him. So this happened spontaneously out here in the open. You can see that Jonathan's had an experience that he's never seen the symbols, and we still got an amazing result, you know. And I will give him the symbols now because he's had the attunement and he can work with it. So thank you for him for doing this amazing stuff to get us out on YouTube. So I'm going to pick up on now then what I was saying. Do you want to stay there or do you want to go back there?
Oh yeah, you can continue. But thank you so much.
Yeah.
It's been a blessing, and I hope you other people out there also will contact Valerye if she feels that you could be right as well. Like this is such a blessing. So thank you, Valerye.
Yeah, I feel anyone who's watching this, they'll have a flavour for it. You know, something will happen to them,
Yeah.
and they'll have a knowing that they need to reach out to me. And the multi-dimensional energy clearing as well. Is there anything you can remember about that you might want to share that was preceding the Anubis, or was it all just such a build-up of it that you don't have any memory now?
No, yeah, it was just more like a build-up, and I also but when I was talking about the levitation thing, it was very like I felt very highly energetic, and I felt like I could like channel through more our guides and spirits and whatever that was there that like they were coming through. So a lot of this was happening, and I actually felt while you were doing a lot of the clearing, they were just doing, you were clearing right now. Like,
Well, actually, you weren't, because when it came to your base chakra, a lot was taken from there.
No, but that was the thing. But after, like, when we were starting to get higher, but I felt like there was like, okay, just like, just be in the energies now, and this is gonna be good. And
yeah, in the multidimensional energy clearing, just to explain, you don't have to do anything. Lots of people are like just taken out. How I work with, I do it over Messenger and Skype, and the people are lying in bed under a duvet because the temperature can go really cold, and so am I. And all of this process is just happening like we just did it, but you forget you're in your own homes and in separate countries or whatever, because you're joined in this amazing energy. So
yeah. And a lot of it just like I was probably somewhere else because I was just doing, but all of it it was getting into my unconscious state anyway. So it was definitely like put in there. So I just like, that's why I still feel very high on vibrational energy. So yeah, it was a good thing.
We're all high on spirit here, and we don't drink alcohol.
Okay.
All right. So,
thank you so much.
yeah.
You can
Okay.
continue on.
So I think I was going to be talking about attunements, any attunements actually. That's used 3 Tibetan, Karuna, Anubis.